Привет всем, с вами я, Jamie, это College Russian. Today, we are covering one of the most difficult aspects of the Russian language, in my opinion, and based on my experience with students. Now, you all know that I love the Russian language. I love it. But there's one aspect of the Russian language that just makes me regret my decision to learn this language, and that is verbs of motion. They still torment me to this day. Specifically, just something as simple as saying to go or I went. It's like there's all these layers of complexity. But in today's video, we're gonna break that down. But be prepared, because this is, as they say in Russian, полный кошмар. So one time I was working as a translator, I was translating a book from Russian into English, and I stumbled upon this super funny line that I realized, okay, this is why you need human translators, because there's no way Google is going to know how to translate this sentence. So the sentence was, I'm going to read it. Называется проездом, потому что в театр не ходили, а ездили. Are you interested to see how Google translated that? Let's take a look. Our expert Google Translate said, it is called a passage because they did not go to the theater, but went. So as you can see, there are a lot of nuances. But in today's video, we're going to break them down. And I'm going to do a little compilation of little videos I took in my life every day describing places I go.
Я езжу в город, который называется Аннаполис.
Сейчас я иду в ресторан.
Сейчас я еду по Аннаполису.
And then we'll do a little bit of grammar breakdown and practice and give you the opportunity to practice talking about places you go on a regular basis. Okay, so you need to ask yourself two questions when you say to go in Russian. The first question is, am I going by foot or by vehicle? So if you're going by foot, it's going to be either one of these three verbs. If you're going by vehicle, it's going to be one of these three verbs. So that's question number one, by foot or by vehicle. Question number two you need to ask yourself is, do I habitually go to this place? Am I emphasizing that I go there and I come back and I go there and I come back maybe every week, once a year, anything implying that this is something you regularly do? Is it somewhere I'm going right now? I'm currently walking there. And lastly, is it that I'm emphasizing that I will depart to that place or I already departed? So let's take a minute and look at some of these videos that I recorded during my week last week describing places I go to on a regular basis, places where I was going to, and you can see how I broke this down. Then after these videos, I will do a complete grammar analysis as if you were in my Russian classroom in a university, and you can get some practice in and kind of test your knowledge as well to see how all of these verbs are used and their conjugations.
Доброе утро, сегодня понедельник, и по понедельникам, средам и пятницам я езжу в город, который называется Аннаполис. Это столица Мэриленда, и я там работаю, преподаю в университете. Сейчас я еду по Аннаполису и ищу парковку. Здесь Аннаполис, очень красивый, интересный город. Я люблю Аннаполис.
Сейчас я иду в ресторан. В ресторане я пообедаю и пойду назад на работу на последний урок. И после урока поеду домой. Уточки, уточки, куда вы идете? Идите сюда. Очень интересно, я иду, и также дождь идет. Интересно, что делает дождь? Дождь идет.
Okay, so now we're going to take all of that and break it down, and I'm going to explain why I said things the way I said them. Okay, so essentially to say to go in Russian, super easy. It's really easy. You just say it like that, or like that, or like that, or that, or that, or that, or or that, also that one, or that one, or that one. Okay, there you go. That's how you say to go in Russian. I hope that was useful, and I'll see you in the next video. No, just kidding. All right, just kidding. We're gonna break it down. It's very complicated in Russian, but remember you have to ask yourself 2 questions, and we can get to the point where we can make sense of all of this, I promise. Okay, so the first question you have to ask yourself is, am I going by foot or by vehicle? Okay, so for right now, we're just going to look at the by vehicle ones. And these conjugations you'll need to kind of just memorize and practice on your own. Я езжу, ты ездишь, он ездит, мы ездим, вы ездите, они ездят. And here's an example of how you might use this in context. So because it's a by vehicle and it's multi-directional, meaning you habitually do it. You go there and you come back and you go there and you come back. So for example, мы ездим в Россию каждый год. We go there all the time. We make round trips. The next one is the by vehicle, currently in motion. And this translates nicely into English as like an ing, going. And this one, pay attention to the word stress in this one, because you can say different things if you stress these words wrong. Я еду, not я еду. That means I like food. I love food. Я еду, ты едешь, он едет, мы едем, вы едете, они едут. And an example of this in context, for example, would be Papa едет домой. Maybe your kid's asking, where's dad? Where's dad? And you would say, ну сейчас, подожди, папа едет домой. So dad is going home. The next one is the departure or intend to depart. And notice this one is in the past or future only. So if you say я поеду, it means I will go. That cannot be in present tense. So я поеду. If you want to use present tense, you have to come back over here. So я поеду, ты поедешь, он поедет, мы поедем, вы поедете, они поедут. And this is a great one for like when you're talking about what you're going to do after you do something else. Like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And a lot of those verbs will be in the perfective. And then I'm going to go, right? So завтра мы поедем на дачу в 8 часов. We are going to depart to the dacha tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Don't be late. Okay, so now we're going to go on the by foot verbs. So this is in the habitual, the multi-directional column, and it's by foot. So this is places you go to by foot on a regular basis. And I tend to tell students, like, assume it's by foot unless it's obviously another country, state, or city. Okay, so here we go. Я редко хожу на концерты. I habitually don't really go to concerts. Next one. Идти, to go. Conjugations. Я иду, ты идешь, он идет, мы идем, вы идете, они идут. And to see that one in context. Привет, Олег, куда ты идешь? You see somebody on the street and you're like, hey, where are you going? Куда ты идешь? Next one, пойти. Пойти means you will go by foot. So, я пойду, ты пойдешь, он пойдет, мы пойдем, вы пойдете, они пойдут. And to see this one in context. После урока я пойду в кафе. So again, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go to wherever. После урока я пойду в кафе. So now we're going to take all of these away and see how I used them in my videos and explain the grammar behind why I used the verb that I used. So the first thing I say is по понедельникам и средам я езжу в город, который называется Annapolis. So we ask ourselves our first question. Was this by foot or by vehicle? We see another city mentioned, Annapolis. So we're going to go ahead and assume that I had to drive there. Next, we have a habitual phrase that tells us this is something that gets repeated. По понедельникам и средам, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I go. Я езжу в город. So that's why I phrased that the way I did. Next one I say is сейчас я еду по Аннаполису. Okay, so remember that this is the currently in motion column. This is the currently in motion. I am currently in motion doing this. So in this video, you saw that I'm driving around looking for parking. I'm currently in motion. There's an ing on it. I'm driving around. Сейчас я еду по Аннаполису. My next sentence was сейчас я иду в ресторан. okay? So again, ресторан is the kind of thing you could walk to. It's not another city, state, or country. So most likely we're going to assume this is a by foot going. Also, in the video, I'm walking. You're hearing my footsteps. So сейчас я иду. Again, currently in motion, going there. Then I talk about my plans. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go, right? So in the restaurant, I'm going to eat lunch. I will eat lunch. And then I'm going to go back to work. В ресторане я пообедаю и пойду назад на работу. Next, I'm telling you, and then what am I going to do after my lesson? После урока поеду домой. After my lesson, I will go home. Okay, next one. Then I call out to the little duckies and I say, уточки, уточки, куда вы идете? They are currently in motion, waddling away from me, out to the water. It wouldn't make sense to say, куда вы едете? I would love to see that. That would be adorable. If you ever saw ducks riding on some sort of form of a vehicle, that would be adorable. But nope, they were walking. So, куда вы идете? And then the most brain-exploding moment is, what does rain do in Russian? Rain and snow, they go. So they don't even have a verb like to rain. It's raining. Nope, you say the rain is going or the snow is going. Дождь идет. Снег идет, for example. So what do you think it would mean? We're just going to get philosophical here for a second. What do you think it would mean if I said дождь пойдет? Дождь пойдет. That means it's going to rain. It will rain. Дождь пойдет. Okay, good. So that was all the stuff mentioned in the video. So now you are going to practice what we have learned so far. So let's take some sentences in English and translate them into Russian. We usually go to Florida in May. First question, by foot or by vehicle? We see a different state mentioned, so we know it needs to be vehicle. We see a word that implies repeatedness, usually. So that tells us it needs to be multi-directional. And then we need the we conjugation. Мы ездим во Флориду в мае. Мы обычно ездим во Флориду в мае. Next, we will go to a restaurant after work. Wanna go? See, we have a plan. We're gonna go do this after this thing. So a restaurant is a place you could walk to. There's no mention of a different city. So we're gonna assume that we're going by foot. It's not habitual. We're not saying we're going to habitually go to the restaurant after work. Do you want to habitually go with us? No, we're not saying that. So the one that's going to make sense here is мы пойдем в ресторан после работы. Хочешь пойти? That's how you would say that one. Okay, next one. My brother never goes to class. He habitually doesn't go to class, okay? Class is a place you could walk to. It's not a different city, state, or country. And he habitually doesn't go. So he doesn't ever make these round trips. So we come down here to ходит. Мой брат никогда не ходит на занятия. Мой брат никогда не ходит на занятия. Next, you see a friend and you want to be like, hey, what's up? Where are you going? Right? So most likely, this friend is walking and you're also walking. Because if you were to use a by vehicle verb here, it would mean like you're like stopping their car and like pounding on their window like a psycho. Like, where are you going? Where are you going? Right? No, we're just like two friends passing on the street. So, привет, как сам, как делашки, как дела? Куда ты идешь? Where are you going? Where are you currently in motion going to? That would be super weird to walk up to them and be like, привет, куда ты ходишь? Because that would sound like in English, that would be like, hey, how's it going? Where do you go all the time? Right? That's how that sounds in English. And it sounds weird in English to just walk up to somebody and ask them that kind of question. So we want to do the currently in motion going. Куда ты идешь?
So that's all for today's video. Don't forget to check out this song Конь, which uses a lot of идем, пойдем, and it's great practice because it'll stick in your head. Also, check back next month or so for a little bit more information on how to say went, because there's another layer of complexity there that is kind of unexpected for us English speakers. So I hope that was useful. Again, check out the worksheet on my website. And of course, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and please leave some comments below about places you go to on a regular basis. So I'm interested to see the places you go on a regular basis or the places you're going to right now. Leave your comment and I'll correct your grammar for you as well. Хорошо, это все. До свидания.